Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. Good morning. That is a diagram of all the different measurements there are for a rim. So you thought a rim was just a rim. Well, check it out. Why I'm doing this video is because I got some rims that I ordered with a specification for an offset. And these are those rims. And long story short, I don't think they were built to the correct specification because they touch my control arm in the back. These are 13-inch by 18 rims, and they go on that car. That's an original equipment rim. So those are 12-inch by 19 rims. So this is a little wider with a smaller diameter. So what I'm going to try to do is show you how to measure backspace and offset with a tire on the rim. And the reason why that's hard is because I'm going to show you it sticks out. The tire sticks out by that much. So I'm going to measure that much on both sides and subtract it from my overall measurement. And you'll see I'm on a metal top workbench. Usually I have a towel down. I don't have a towel down. And I think this should come pretty close within, let's say, a millimeter. That's my goal, to get it within a millimeter. So first off, I have some Machinist rulers. The difference between a Machinist ruler and a regular ruler is this is cut right at zero. Let's call it zero. A school ruler has a little extra end of the ruler there. So these are all Machinist rulers. On the 0 end, see, it would have like extra on this other end. I don't think I have that kind of ruler to show you. Maybe this one. Yeah, all right. See, that's not a Machinist ruler because the 0 point starts in from the edge of the ruler. Okay? Difference. All right, now I got to do this, holding the camera with one hand. That's how I shoot. And I'm going to take this little guy here and put him down on the metal, and then hold this other just acting as a straight edge, just like that. Now I am going to put the camera down, but I'm showing you how I'm going to measure it. Okay? I'll be back. Sorry, I let the camera run a little bit long on that previous clip. So we have 5.5 millimeters of rubber sticking out on each side. 5.5. So now I'm going to measure the overall distance like so. Again, I'm going to use this as a straight edge and then use that 16-inch ruler to measure it. And I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do, because I like you guys and gals to be able to follow what I'm doing. So like this. All right, I'm going to measure like that, and then I'm going to subtract 2 times 5.5, and that will give me the rim at that exterior dimension. Sorry, focus. Okay, exterior dimension, the rim width. That's what it's called on this diagram, the rim width. Okay, be back. So, we have 359 millimeters of rim width with rubber. So if we subtract the 11 millimeters of rubber, we've got 348 millimeters. Let me convert that to inches for you inch people. So I'm going to correct one thing here. I was calling that rim width. Rim width in this diagram is from this inside of the extreme width, inside to inside. So I changed my words. So 359 millimeters extreme edge with rubber, all right? So still 359 minus 11 equals 13.071 overall extreme edge. Now, if you subtracted 0.375 inch, right, 0.375 inch, yeah, about a third of an inch, less than a third of an inch, between a quarter and a third of an inch. Then you would get rim width, which is 13 inches. And what I'm talking about is here, this from here to there, all right? Here to there. You have to subtract that to get rim width, which is what they're talking about there, okay? It's what I was pointing at from there to there, so it moves in. Half of 0.7 inches, which is 0.35 inches. All right, now, and when we were measuring, according to this diagram, that's where I got the extreme back edge, okay? Not the rim width, the extreme back edge. And we're going to measure back spacing now. So, the way we're going to measure back spacing is from here to there. And then again, we have to subtract that rubber, 5.5 millimeters of rubber. All right, I'm going to let go of the camera. I'll be back. Okay, so measuring that backspace, 233.0 millimeters minus only one 5.5 millimeter, because we only have one rubber thing to take into account since we went to the metal down there. That's 227.5 millimeters, and that's 8.95 inch backspace. If you wanted to, commonly backspace is measured in inch. So there's that. But we're going to go back here and we're going to subtract the center line measurement. So we go back to 348 millimeters. That's just rim, not counting the rubber. Divide that by 2 and we'll get 174 millimeters is the center line. All right, so extreme edge divided by 2 is center line. So that right there is 174 millimeters. So that calculation gives me 53.5 millimeters of offset. Now we're talking about offset. Offset's usually in millimeters. Offset is from here, that's the inside of the hub, all right, from here to the center line, right there where my finger is dragging. That's offset. So interestingly enough, my rim guy who ordered these rims for me to be built to specification that the manufacturer claims is a good specification on that car. There's focus. He did in fact tell me that instead of 56, which was what was on the invoice, he said that they actually were made, according to the records of the manufacturer, to 53. He said 53, and I'm getting 53.5, so we'll call that close enough. That's a half a millimeter, is a very small amount. So now what I'm going to do is add a 3.25 millimeter spacer, which I happen to have in my shop right there. And I think, give or take a half a millimeter, that's what needs to change. And when they remanufacture these rims, about an extra 3.25 millimeter added to that hub there. What they do, I'm not sure, I haven't been to their factory, but I think probably what they do is they make these tall and then they shave it down to get the offset that they want. They probably make it, an extra, could be an inch, or I don't know what, 3/4 of an inch taller, and then they shave it, and then they get the offset that they want. So let's remeasure this with a 3.25 millimeter spacer. And all we have to do remeasure is the backspace. Remember that? So, and we'll subtract for the rubber on one side. We're going to measure the backspace again with the spacer in there. All right, what I got was 230 millimeters backspace minus the rubber, 5.5, 225.5 millimeters backspace. For your inch people, that's 8.878 inch. So now we're going to subtract the center line, the figure we calculated for half of the overall. Let me subtract that. That's the 348 millimeters. All right, the 348 millimeters, that has the rubber subtracted from it. So that's all rim, no rubber. So 348, half of that is 174. So minus 174.0. So by my calculation, and if this is correct, you think I screwed it up somewhere, let me know, but I think that's correct. Instead of building it to 53.5, which is, or 53, which is what my rim guy told me, the factory made it actually to 53, that's what he said. It should be 51.5. I think that would be enough to clear the control arm where it's rubbing on the control arm. 51.5. That's 2 millimeters. Maybe add 1 more millimeter just to be sure. Remember, when you're doing this, you're moving the tire out towards the fender. I don't actually know how much clearance I have from the tire to the fender. So you're in a fine calculated zone here. But I think 51 offset would do the trick. But I'm willing to take into consideration the engineers at the factory and also the opinion of my rim guy. Okay? So that's how I did it. Give me a thumbs up or a like if this helps you out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more from Froggy. Be safe, have fun. If you want notifications, click on the little bell next to subscribe. Froggy out. Bye.